Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Put a Ring on It, Season 4, Episodes 3 and 4, because I owe y'all one from last week. Like, there's just been a lot of shows coming out, especially with Love is Blind on Netflix, so I overlooked it. I'm sorry, but it's here now. This may be a long one, so I definitely would appreciate it if you watched until the end. It'll help me push this video through these crazy YouTube algorithm streets, okay? Before we just jump straight into it, if you're new here or if you're not, either way, if you enjoy the video, be sure to check out my other content, like, and most importantly, subscribe, because I am a small YouTuber trying to grow my channel. And a side note, I'm waiting for my DoorDash, so I may have to pause the video. Y'all know, if you've been here before, I don't edit these videos. Maybe you get them as is, but just a FYI. Okay, so we pick up where we left off on episode 2 with Dunbar crying. You know, I felt like at first he was kind of forcing it out a little bit, but then them tears started to flow, okay? And he expressed that he deals with anger, depression, and anxiety. Mental health is real. You know, a lot of people suffer from this. So he's afraid Chance will leave him. And he talks about his upbringing with his stepdad and said he would take his anger issues out from his workday on his mom. So that's what he was accustomed to growing up. And then he also mentions that he had anger issues with football and his ex actually left him because of it. A lot of football players seem to struggle with this. Like, that seems to be an ongoing theme with football players, especially. Not all, but, you know, I've just noticed a little trend. So, I'm glad he did share. I don't think Chance would leave him. And we know she didn't because now, in today's date, they're engaged. So, you know, spoiler alert. But, I just don't see why they're on the show. I still, like, even with this, like, I don't see why they're on the show. Like, y'all just wanted to be on TV real quick. So, it's time for the couples to meet Dr. Stacy. Chance and Dunbar are no show. They waiting. Nothing. So they don't show up. And they could have. I felt like that was immature. Like, y'all know y'all are filming. This ain't no, like, oh, well, you know, it's fine if I don't make it. Like, it ain't gonna make no difference. Y'all are filming for a TV show. Like, that was just, first of all, it was just rude. Like, it was just rude and immature as hell, in my opinion. Anyway, we start with Ricky's day, and he said his date didn't have an issue with him spending the night at his ex-wife's house for the kids. I bet she don't, because she's not your girlfriend. Catherine laughed because she was like, I felt that way too, until I was his girlfriend. Exactly. So, Catherine said she put a stop to that nonsense, like, we ain't doing that no more. And again, like I said last review, everybody named mama live up in that house. So why can't his kids stay up in there for a night or two? Ricky and his braids said that they don't want to go on a second date with the date's name because I forgot her name. I wrote it down later. It's going to come back up. Don't worry. But he said he didn't want to go at first. And Dr. Stacey was like, nah, I don't believe you. So basically she pulled it out of him for him to say, yes, he wants to go out with her. Again, Jaisha shares that his date was career focused and that Joya got baby fever due to her age. But, you know, Joya seemed a little insecure. So ultimately, Jaisha is not going to go on a second date. And I don't know. Like, they seemed like they had good vibes and chemistry on the date. So he said he's an energy person and he didn't feel it. And I didn't catch that at all. Y'all was diving deep into your zodiac signs, the moon, the sun, all this stuff. So could have fooled me. So Dr. Stacy tells everyone that they're going out with their exes. But Joya and Jaisha's ex actually declined. They don't want to be a part of the show. So she's just going to have a one-on-one meeting with them instead. So we got our dates. First we have Ricky and his ex-wife Chelsea arrives. Who better? You couldn't pick a better ex than his ex-wife. Let's get on. Come on in. Let's resolve this co-parenting issue. She says she and Ricky are the best of friends. So there's nothing to worry about. Like, that's the homie. She and Catherine hug, and that's a good sign. So I'm like, does Catherine really have an issue, like, with the ex-wife actually doing something in particular? Or does she just have an issue with the fact that they're connected through their child? As Ricky and Chelsea leave, Kat tells him, like, oh, be more of a gentleman with Chelsea than you are with me. Girl, if you don't just leave the relationship, I'm tired of it. He don't get no flowers. You don't go on no dates. He don't hold no door with me. What do he do? Anyway, Ricky opens Chelsea's door. She was like, oh, I like this. Like, oh, it's a change. Clearly, he's never been romantic, ever. And here he go jumping in the passenger seat again. And I'm like, does this man own a car? Is he just letting them drive because they picking the dates? Or does he, because this is his ex-wife. Like, can you drive? Is that why he had to stay at her house? Because, it was too much going to and fro on the bus? Like, I need answers. So, Dr. Stacy calls Chance and Dunbar when she's driving and they ignore her call. Send her straight to voicemail. And in their confessional, they said they needed time to regroup. And, the whole process is just overwhelming. It was too much for them. No, y'all said, look, we did 2 episodes. Just enough for y'all to remember our names. And we can get our Instagram followers up. And we out. That's all we came to do. Okay? Like I said before, I wouldn't even be surprised if they wasn't married already, honestly. But y'all should have been grown enough to just pick up the phone and say that. But no, y'all want to go out with a bang, cause a whole scene. So Chelsea, the ex-wife, has a confessional, and she doesn't seem problematic at all, in my opinion. To me personally, like it's like a stigma with this whole dating people with children, because it's like, I don't want that baby mama drama. I don't want that baby daddy drama. His ex-wife might be... Nah, that's how you can see if there's really an issue. Like, if the ex-wife is like, if she was like, look, I don't want you spending the night at that house no more, and the ex-wife was causing an issue, then okay, there's still something here. There's some baggage going on. If nothing's happening, then it's a healthy co-parenting relationship. Like, you get to see it before it happens. Versus you with somebody that don't have no children, you don't know what, you just walking in blind, hoping for the best. And I promise you, when them babies come, things will change. It might change for the better. It might change for the worse, but it's going to change. But, not only do they have a child together, he does seem to be really involved with his stepchildren, and I can respect that. So, Chelsea said they all need to go on a date. I thought that's what they was going to do today, but whatever. So, she was like, you set it up, you plan it, pick the time, the place, the date, everything. And, okay, he's open to that. So, kudos to Chelsea. Dr. Stacy arrives at Joya and Jasha's place. And Dr. Stacy just jumped straight into it. Like, she's sitting right down and was like, what's going on with these exes of yours? Where they at? And they talk about their co-parents. To my surprise, both Joya and Jasha have children. See, because at first, this is how it was for me. Episode 1, in the beginning, she was like, I got baby fever. Like, my clock is ticking. And I was like, man, she must not have no children. Come find out she got a son. Then I'm like, okay, well, how does he act with her child? They talking about he like to get up and go. They like to travel. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's just not ready to have children. And now here we are in episode 3, and now he got a child. What is going on? Y'all got children. Why are you acting? He 40, acting like you already have a child. Now I need to know, how involved are you in? Are you with this child? How involved? Because you acting like having a baby. Oh no, it's a setback. So I need answers. So, Joya says that her son lives with her primarily, like he lives with her during the school year, and then in the summertime he stayed with his dad in New York. Jasha said that his daughter lives in Georgia, so he can see her anytime. His ex-wife, he was married, and his ex-wife is remarried now, so they co-parent well. So okay, shout out to the blended family. I wonder if their children know each other, if they're close in age, like, I'm just curious. And furthermore, do Joya and Jasha live together? I wonder, because later on we saw them sitting on that tight bed. It was a little, it was a little snug. And besides that, like, she was like, he lives with me, which makes me think, do y'all live together? Because it wasn't like, well, he lived with us. Like, if y'all remember from season 1, I think it was like Michael and Shay or something like that, and they married now. Shout out to them. Hopefully I got their names right. When she was like, oh, when he lived with the son, come to live with us in the summertime, it's so much, like, so it's like y'all live together. These two, I don't know. Like, do you think they live together? Because it seemed like they just using her place or one of their places as the main go-to location for the camera crew. So, Jasha said he was married 5 years. His, daughter lives with his ex-wife, so he can see her when he wants, but, he doesn't have her every day. So that hurts. But Joya shares that she wanted another child, and so her son wouldn't be alone. She wanted him to have a sibling, but she wanted to be married first. I feel her on that. And I am only like now I do have step siblings because my father remarried, but they're young, like they could young enough to be my kids. So and I'm still my mother. She never remarried. I'm the only child, so it's like I get that. I don't feel like away or anything, but I think like once they get older and you have to care for your parents, and then all the responsibility falls on you. That can be a lot. And I felt the same way with my son. It was just me and my son for a long, long time. And then, I said I had to be married first. I got engaged thinking that I would get married. Had the child. I ain't married, ain't nothing. Now here I am with 2 kids. So you know what, Joya, you don't compromise. Don't bend. Don't fold. Don't settle, honey. If you want to be married first, get married first. Like the women are having children older. Me personally, I don't want to have no one child in my 40s either because I'm tired. But it can be done, and it is being done. So Dr. Stacy asked Daisha, why he divorced. And he was like, well, there was trust issues and financial issues at the time. So this is what I gathered. This is my theory. So you was cheating, and then you had the nerve to do it when you was broke. Like, the audacity. Like, you ain't paying these bills, and you got time to cheat. Okay. But that's just my opinion. I see why she moved on quick, fast, and in a hurry. So Dr. Stacy asked Daisha how he feels about the fact that another man is raising his daughter, and he admitted that that's something he really had to overcome because it bothered him missing out on certain things and, not being a part of her life every day. This is good. This ain't Dr. Nicole, honey. Ain't a riddle in sight. Dr. Stacy don't care. She gets straight to it. That's my kind of girl. So Daisha has a fear that if he has another child, he can end up in a similar situation. Like, he might be in a situation again where he got a co-parent. And so that's why he's not in no rush. Can you please say that to Joya so she can, have a better understanding? Don't leave sis in the dark. So Catherine's ex-fiance, Corey, 48, arrives. There's like a 16-year age gap between them. And she said she was 20 when she got with Corey. He was 36. That's all. That's a red flag. Why was it 30? He's talking about they was co-workers and then they ended up, becoming a couple. Why was a 36-year-old man? What do you have in common with a 20-year-old woman? But whatever. That's besides the point, I guess. She said he remarried now. I wonder how old his wife is now. So Corey and Ricky laugh at the fact that Catherine is hard-headed and stubborn. And once Catherine and Corey got to the restaurant, he was giving out some good advice. I think he was giving out good advice. He was talking about like communication and, it's more so not just about I'm saying how I feel, you say how you feel. It's about having an understanding and, he just giving her the real. But regarding the lack of boundaries with the co-parenting situation, it seems like that stems from her relationship with Corey because she said, the mother of his child was problematic. She still wanted him and she caused a lot of strife and issues on their relationship. They were engaged at one point, and when they were getting marriage counseling, they just decided ultimately, like, this is just not going to work. And I'm glad she didn't, because she was too young to be dealing with that. But for me personally, this is just me personally, I still don't think Catherine and Ricky are a real couple. I don't. It's given, what's the season with Alexia and that guy from Field Mob? Like, it's like we're friends, and we just, acting like a couple to be on the show. I don't know. Like, maybe as some more time go on, maybe, but I don't know. Chance and Dunbar finally meet with Dr. Stacy. They agreed that dating other people is just not for them. Dunbar said he's not depressed anymore. Say what now? What? So Dr. Stacy said, oh, so it just went away. And Dunbar was like, yeah, I feel better now. Like, what? See, that's why I ain't trust them tears. That's why I ain't trust them. So, Dunbar implies that Chance brings him closer to G-O-D, the Lord up above. And Dr. Stacy commends Dunbar. She's like, that was good. You had a great breakthrough the other day. But, I would really like for you to share your concerns with Chance so she knows what's up. So Dr. Stacy said Dunbar stated that he doesn't trust Chance. And Chance was like, well, did you say that exactly? Or is she putting words in your mouth? Like, Chance ain't come here to get no type of help, healing, or none of that. And really, I didn't really think the show was for, like, help or healing. But that's what Dr. Stacy came to do, okay? Get these couples healed. So she like, look, she automatically defensive. Every time she talks to Dr. Stacy, she got the defenses up. Like, how you already talking about she just putting words in your mouth? Like, at least hear what this woman has to say. It's like a parent when she be at the parent teacher conference when one of her bad kids don't want to hear nothing. But Dunbar tells her he's dealt with depression and anxiety. He never told Chance this prior to right now. That's a red flag. And Dr. Stacey said that's a red flag. Not a flag that you had to like run away from. Like, okay, it's a red flag, I'm out. But something that y'all know you need to be worked on. And Chance becomes defensive because Dr. Stacey was like, you betraying yourself because you just not even giving it an option to try to correct these issues. But I mean, maybe she don't like the way Dr. Stacey is kicking it to her, but what she's saying is valid. And she was like, y'all can run from your problems, but the problems will follow you. And that's true. But I knew on episode 1, when we saw that preview for the season, I knew they was going to be the one to get up and go. They got their 5 minutes of fame and they out. So, moving on, episode 4. Dr. Stacey tells the other couples, once they all meet, that Dunbar and Chance quit. Catherine says in her confessional, she don't feel like they taking the process seriously. She like, I don't like dating other people either. Like, I don't like, my man went out with his ex, I don't like that. But, you know, I'm taking the process seriously. So, we have a new couple, Jasmine and Zay. We get a little bit of their background. They've been together for 3 years. We ain't had a couple, besides Hollywood and Ashley from season 1, we ain't had a couple be together longer than 3 years. Like, not since then. So, okay, sorry, my thing froze. Anyway, their first date was in Cancun. They've been, you know, having fun, traveling, living life ever since. She thought he was going to propose to her on her birthday. But after he gave her the ring, he announced it like it was a promise ring, and he claimed he got cold feet. Sir, baby, we are too old. What did you talking about? A promise ring? We are too old to be talking about some promise ring. You ain't in high school. Promise. The promise better be you better get on your knees to propose. Don't give me no ring unless it's an engagement ring or upgraded wedding ring or some other kind of ring after we already married. But don't be causing no scene in front of everybody and then talking about some promise ring. Shut. I probably would have ended it right then. But anyway, Jasmine tells us in Cancun, an attractive woman came up to her and was like, "You and him?" She exposed him and was like, he asked her for her IG. Now, mind you, they met on Instagram. Like, that's how they started talking because he had slid into her DMs. Zay said that was his alter ego. And he was like, look, he runs a nightclub. They're both entrepreneurs. That's why they get along. But he runs a nightclub. He got a lounge. He got a car wash with, you know, like a lounge type setting in it with a bar and a pool table and a stripper pole in there. And he got some other stuff going on. So, yeah, that's a part. That's just how he rolls. And he was like, look, I took 32 shots of tequila with my cousin when we was in Cancun, and that's why that happened. Ooh, I wanted to vomit just hearing him say it. 32 shots. Ooh, my stomach would have been tore up. He a partier for real. So Dr. Stacey gets updates from the other couples regarding their dates and, you know, what happened last week. And there seems to be, again, yet another running theme of the ladies saying they want to be in control. Zay said he's nervous, like he's kind of nervous about the process because his girlfriend is his everything and he don't want to mess it up. Well, if you didn't want to mess it up, you should have proposed instead of giving her that promise ring. But I'm going to let it go because she let it go, so she let it go, I'm going to let it go. So Jasmine is going on her first date. And she is a lay down their boundaries, no kissing, no touching. She don't want him drinking when he out with another woman. Well, after that Cancun trip, I wouldn't either. And that's y'all first date. Yeah. Okay, y'all wasn't together yet. I guess that's why she forgave him, but So, her date is Jeremy, 33. He's a personal trainer and a promoter. Instantly, I say he don't want nothing serious. Like, why did y'all bring this man? Like, be for real. Like, why did y'all pick this man? What y'all needed some actors, didn't have enough people? I don't know. So, Zay tells the date to take a shot with him. And as they leave, he like, nah, him just leaving. I ain't see what car he pulled up in, nothing. He watching them on the camera. I probably would have watched him on the camera, too. Because I stayed looking at my Ring camera. So, Jaysha is going out with Brittany. This date was kind of, I don't know. He didn't give me much. Brittany says she's the CEO. They smelling scents, And Brittany already, as soon as they sit down, she being flirtatious and, with the sexual innuendos and touching his arm. Jaisha, he seemed turned off because he said she was being flirtatious real fast. I think she's trying way too hard. But he said there was good vibes. It seemed like he didn't want to be there. But okay. Last week, it seemed like he wanted to be there, and he said the vibe was off. So he's clearly hard to read. He asked her age, and she was like, you're not supposed to be asking that. Like, a lady never tell. Girl, how old are you? Okay, this ain't 1950. She only 32. Like, why would you? What was the big deal? He shares, he's not in a hurry to get married, pretty much, in so many words. And I would not be eager to marry. I don't know why Joya wants to marry this man. Do I think he's going to propose at the end of this? Yes. It's put a ring on it. Everybody proposes. But, like, I would have no desire to marry a man that I got the pressure to propose to me. Then, honey, going to get engaged. I promise y'all probably going to be engaged for a few years before y'all probably get married. Because he ain't in no rush. He ain't reciprocating the feelings. He already been married before. Joya, move on. But you know what? Let's just see what happened. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe let's just see. So Jazz is on her date. And Jeremy is talking about himself. He, himself, and him. Nothing but him. Don't really ask her a thing. He's talking about his business ventures. He said he uses the party promoting and the personal training to segue into his side hustle, which is being a shirtless chef. I don't know what these ladies are saying. I know he got the muscles and stuff, but it's like his mouth. He don't do it for me. He don't do it for me. Like, he was just too, it was like the confidence was like a kind of like a conceitedness. I didn't like it. I don't know. And he was giving me like male gigolo. Like, what's going on? Jasmine was uninterested as well. He turned her off. Probably because he didn't ask her one question. All he did was talk about himself. Clearly, he's on the show to promote his businesses. So, sorry, y'all. I told y'all the sniffling. I be trying my allergies. Like, I got over a cold, and then, it's April and allergies. But that's neither here nor there. So, Ricky is on his second date with Sheila. I told y'all I had her name somewhere. It was written down somewhere. So one thing Ricky gonna do is have his braids going every which way. Like, they going left to right. Like, but Sheila liking it though. So that's all that matters. Soon as the food arrives, she feeding him. Unlike Ready Over There and Ready to Love, where they leaving the plates full, they eating over here. They will on put a ring on it. Ever since season 1, they will eat. They eat their food. They don't be sitting there for play, honey. Because Sheila was like, oh, you ordered the most expensive thing on the menu. I bet he did. So they start flirting heavy. And honestly, I wouldn't even mind these two dating. Like, to me, it seemed like Sheila make more sense. Just going, we don't know his full dating history or nothing, but just going off of his ex-wife and like kind of the vibe I was getting from her, like Sheila kind of give me like a similar feel. You get what I'm saying? Is it just me? Let me know. And more importantly, I just want to I'm tired of everybody proposing, everybody saying yes. I want a season where somebody say no and go with the person. Not just say no, but go with somebody from the show. And this could be the couple to do it. I wouldn't even be mad at it. So Dr. Stacy comes to visit Jazz and Zay. They got their first one-on-one. Did Ricky and Kat get a one-on-one yet? I don't think so. So Zay basically said Jazz had to teach him how to love and like teach him her boundaries. Like, you teach people how to treat you, and he like, so music soul child, like, teach me how to love. So Jasmine said one of his friends said to Hill, I don't know what the situation was, but homie said that he will, slap her. If that's safe to say on the YouTube of it all. So Jazz is triggered to the point of tears. Zay kind of brushed it off because, Dr. Stacey was like, well, what you do? And he was like, oh, he was ready to rumble. Like, he was so upset. But she's like, yeah, but now y'all friends again. Like, it blew right over. Like, y'all moved right on from it, but the friend never apologized. And she felt away. And she's really, like, tearful about it. And I forgot what he said, but Dr. Stacey was like, nope, we're not going to do that. We're not going to minimize her feelings. Like, And so it's like a protection thing. Like, do you feel like he'll protect you? Do you feel safe with him? She's like, Jazz is feeling like, how important am I to you? It seems like you care more about your friends, these childhood homies of yours, than you do about me. Maybe it's because you're not your wife. Like, it's, you can be with a man for 20 years. But he will be like, well, you're not my wife. Like, what? We live together, got a home together, been together for years, but ladies, that's why you don't be just wasting years upon years. It worked for some, but, it's always an exception to the rule, but the rule's the rule. But that's where the episode ends. We get to see the rest of the season. We'll see how the season go when the shows come on. But y'all let me know how y'all are liking this season so far. Be sure to like, comment, most importantly, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend because it's free 99. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.